Hey, Mr. McKinney, how's it going? I have something to show you.
Oh my goodness. Okay, here we go. I'm excited about this. So, Nicholas Guidry with Boulevard Realty, you found this, right? I mean, this is a big deal.
That's right. I found it in a listing in Westmoreland. So it's a historic house, historic area. So who knows? It could be from, past people who lived there. It stayed with the house. Who knows? But it's certainly an interesting photograph. So
and I love
excited to share it with you guys.
Oh, that's so great. And the story is that you posted this on your Facebook page. What were some of the comments you got, and who chimed in?
So, people were started in the beginning. We started saying the 80s. Then slowly people worked their way down to the 70s. I think everyone was very intellectually curious about it and, trying to figure out what time this was. Certainly people who lived in Houston all their life really wanted to connect the dots. George Lancaster of Hines pointed out that there are no Hines buildings here, so it must be pre-Hines. So that was one of the clues we had, and then some other people started chiming in about different buildings that they appreciated in Houston, such as Pinwell Place, which is not present in this picture, as well as the Humble Oil Building and other Houston favorites. So I wanted to bring it to you so you could help me figure it out, because I knew you could crack the case.
Look at this. It was my first time seeing this, and I just think it's an interesting piece, the way that's been kind of mounted on this piece of wood over here. But look at that. So what we're looking at is, and again, you got some good guesses on different years, right? What's one that you think it might be?
So I think I personally landed, based on what people were telling me, somewhere at 1963, 1962, 1964, somewhere in that period.
Look at that. Okay, so I will give you my opinion on this. A couple things. One, you're absolutely right. There are no Hines buildings. He didn't really come into the downtown area until 1971's opening of the One Shell Plaza, which would be right over here. And then construction starting in 68, 69, there's no evidence of that either. I also noticed something too. It is, come here a little closer here, Trace, and we can look at this too. After obviously 1961, you have here SOM's iconic building in downtown Houston. You've got the 1963 1963 Humble Oil Building there, and the Tenneco Building. So what I don't think anybody pointed out was a couple things. If I'm going to date this, it's an interesting photo. It definitely was taken from an airplane, and you can look at Shell's original, not the original, but one of their headquarters was in downtown Houston over here at the 1926 Magnolia Hotel, we call it now, but that's the original Governor Ross Sterling Houston Post-Dispatch building built, and then Shell takes over in the 1940s, 50s, and 60s until they build that one. But look, so what I noticed here, and most Houstonians can agree, you don't see the lollipop on top of the Gulf building. So that's going to give us a good indication of what year this is on the higher end, meaning that we know for a fact that it's not going to be, look at me, Trace, here we go. We know for a fact that it's not going to be in the late 60s. So, okay, let's talk about this. This building here is significant. Come on, zoom in on this, Trace, here. This building here is significant. This building here is the Southwest Tower. This was built in 1964, and it's often hidden in our skyline because this only lasted from 1964 to about 1980 when it was demolished. So what that means is, and it's hidden, if you look once again, Trace, come over here a little closer, you're going to be able to see that it's kind of hidden in this 1963 Tenneco building shell right there. You really can't tell, but that building was short-lived because in 1982 they had that competition to actually build that high-rise 80-story plus skyscraper there by Bank of the Southwest. So they demolished this building, which again was built in 64. So this building has got to be after 1964 because this predominant building is here in the skyline, kind of hidden. And look, come here, closer, Trace. It also has to be after, or rather before 1966, because in 1966, summer of 66, they put the Gulf lollipop on top of the old Gulf building, okay? So in 1963, Humble Oil gets this building built over here, kind of gets Gulf Oil a little bit nervous about that, so they end up doing a marketing technique, which is to put this lollipop on top. It lasted from the summer of 1966 until 1975 when it was taken down for a variety of reasons, mostly citing maintenance. So that's not in this photo. So this photo has to be between 1964 and 1966. and I could do some more research and find out exactly what year. You know, if looking at some of these businesses that are located here, for example, you can come a little closer, Trace. Some of these businesses that are here, some advertisements are also really helpful to be able to determine the year of something. But other than that, if I had to guess, well, I'm not guessing, I'm telling you specifically, it's got to be from 1964 to 1966. So we've narrowed it down to those particular 2 years, and there might be some other clues that can get us a little bit later on. Or you can just look on the back, because over here, no, I'm kidding. It doesn't tell you what you're at. It wouldn't be great. So anyway, so yeah, that's the best that I can do looking at it for the very first time, is that it likely is between, it definitely is between 1964 and 1966. The photo itself was taken. When was this thing made? It looks really aged. It looks like it's got some stained cigarette smoke, like it might have been in an apartment like that, or focused heavily in the sun. Mm-hmm. So those are the two ideas. So yeah, not an exact definite date, but certainly something between 1964 and 1966.
Hey, well, that's something. I mean, that got us closer to a definite answer. So I'm just happy to know something definite.
Yeah. So the mystery still goes on, but we can do more research to find everything out. But well, thank you so much for bringing it here. And I do want to invite you to like and follow Mr. McKinney's Historic Houston and the Houston History Bus. Learn more about Houston histories like we're doing right now, right here today. I want to thank Heidi Vaughan with Heidi Vaughan Fine Art for allowing us to use her gallery space with some really great lighting. And of course, thanks so much to Nicholas Guidry with Boulevard Realty. Make sure you like and follow all of his stuff. But of course, it's something they should do anyway. So, all right, I guess so. We'll take care.
All right. Thanks, guys.